How's it going, everybody? eCom Tom here with another video coming at you guys. And in this video, I am going to show you how to find an obscure supplier, like what I've been doing with my manual eBay dropshipping store, that will get you over 10% front-end margins every time. So I hope you guys are excited for this video. This is probably one of the best videos that I'm going to drop on manual dropshipping to date, and I'm really excited to get this out there. So before, let's just get into it. So I'm going to share with you guys my screen in my video, and I'm going to show you guys the 5 steps to evaluating an obscure supplier. And I've been calling this espionage arbitrage. If you don't realize, the method that we've been doing isn't 100% drop shipping. It's called retail arbitrage drop shipping, or online arbitrage, or anything like that. It's basically taking items from a retail supplier and putting them on a website like eBay or Amazon. That's called retail arbitrage. I've been calling it espionage arbitrage because we're going undercover. We're completely avoiding eBay's API, and we're not getting flagged like a little spy out there doing some arbitrage. So that's what I've been calling it. I hope you guys like my little clip art. I put a lot of work into it. Thank you guys. So let's just get into it. Number one question is, or number one thing to evaluate it is, are they on SKU-Grid? So SKU-Grid is going to be the number one thing that we're going to be using to reprice our items. And I mean, if you want to go out there and do all of this without it being on SKU-Grid, then, either you found some crazy ass retail supplier that nobody's ever found before, which I'm sure is definitely possible, but you can also ask SKU-Grid to put them on there for you to make your life easier, or you're using primarily a wholesale supplier, which everything else will work, under this a little bit. But this is more catered towards the retail suppliers that are obscure suppliers. An obscure supplier, in my definition, is one that's not Amazon, not Walmart, and not Home Depot, because it seems like anybody that ever talks about eBay dropshipping, aka eBay retail arbitrage, talks about Amazon onto eBay, Walmart onto eBay, Home Depot onto eBay, except for, Mark from No BS Dropshipping. He's been talking about other suppliers for the last year and a half. And here we are, everybody is kind of scrambling, and it seems like his method that he's been talking about for a while has been the one to, really go towards anyways. So, here we are on the stores of SKU-Grid, and there is a metric shit ton of stores that you can pick from. So, go for it. You're probably going to start realizing, if you actually do live in the United States, some of these have, you've seen before, maybe you've heard of before. So you might be more apt to just gravitate towards those, which is totally fine. And what I would do is just start going through. There's no way, shape, and form you're going to go through all of these unless you really want to. But just go through, test some out, and really just go through these 5 steps, and you should be able to find some very profitable items. So, like I said, check to make sure it's on SKU-Grid. If it's on SKU-Grid, it's good. So what I'm going to do for this video is I've already tested one. I've already figured things out for you. I am not personally using them at the moment, but I do plan to in the future. I've just added a lot of suppliers lately, and I didn't want to overload my VAs. And we're going to go with Dick's Sporting Goods. So Dick's Sporting Goods, I've heard of being pretty decent in the past. Nobody really ever talks about them. I've heard of them more onto Amazon, Dick's onto Amazon, but I don't really hear of anybody talking about it onto eBay. But here we are, Dick's Sporting Goods. If you've been using Dick's Sporting Goods in the past and making a ton of money off of it, and I blow up your spot, I'm sorry about it, but this is for the greater good of humanity, so you're gonna have to deal with it. So are they on SKU-Grid? Say you look through SKU-Grid, Dick's Sporting Goods, here we are, checked off. Number 1 checked. Next, we're gonna go onto their website. We're going to look at their shipping and return policies. You don't want one with a bad shipping and return policy where, you're going to get screwed over. They're going to make you pay all this money for returns, or their shipping is, extremely long shipping wait times and all sorts of things like that. There's lots of factors that could come into play. And, I would, you scroll down to the bottom of any of these retail suppliers and they're going to be there. So return policy, shipping rates, and then you can look at it here. The return policy says that Dick's Sporting Goods, Golf Galaxy, and Field & Stream offer a 60-day return policy on most products. Returns with the original sales receipt, blah, 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 blah. And I've already read through this, and they don't really give very much information on online stores, online purchases versus, regular purchases in store. It's kind of an iffy situation. What I would do is, honestly, first off, if you don't want to pick up the phone and call them, I love picking up the phone and calling these people. You get so much more across and so much done in a shorter period of time. But as you can tell up at the top, they do have a support chat, so you can ask questions like, what about online returns? Just ask them questions. And there is a few things that you can't really ask, or they're not going to really tell you. One of which I would say is you want to know if they're reseller friendly. And I mean, some places will say they're not, but really not care. That's probably one of the biggest issues with this whole thing, is you need to figure out the hard way if they are reseller friendly or not. But so far, I haven't really seen very many issues. So chat up Dix, be like, hey, what's your online return policy? Blah, 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 blah. Do you guys mind if I ship these to other people? You know, what's the harm in asking, really? And then also go into, you know, what are the shipping policies? So here's the shipping information. Ships to the continental 48. I mean, I wouldn't, are only available for expedited shipping. I mean, I wouldn't do Alaska or Hawaii, but if you really want to branch out, hit a whole different, you know, category of people, go for it. Then it says gift card shipping methods and transit time. We're not talking about gift cards here. Small item shipping methods and transit time. So here's one. You know, what constitutes a small item? You could ask them. Standard shipping is 2 to 5 business days, so that will help you pick your business policy and what you want to do for that. So, you know, it's really just gathering all the necessary information that you really need to make sure that you're set up properly with these suppliers. And one thing I would say is, with the shipping and handling time policy, at first, make sure you have a very lenient policy and make sure that you are, you know, giving yourself ample amount of time to not screw up. And then as they prove themselves over time, then maybe change the policy up. I've done that with a few of my suppliers so far, and it's really worked that way. It's really worked well that way. And also, you want to make sure that, I'm sure all of you guys know that Walmart has free shipping above $35. Home Depot is above $45. Most of these websites have things like that as well. So scroll up to the top. Most of them will say it right here. Free shipping over $49. So, you know, you can factor that in. SKUGrid usually does pick up on shipping pretty well, no matter what the price is. I don't know how they do it, but they do it pretty well. So, I mean, that's number 2, shipping and return policies. So, you know, you're almost halfway through finding a good supplier through Espionage Arbitrage. So after that, this is probably the most important one in my opinion. And it is, do they have private label brands? So not a lot of people talk about this, and I want to be the one to go out there and talk about this. It's so much easier. The world of difference is amazing if you go and find a private label brand that they have. So anyway, if you guys have seen my videos in the past on how to source from Walmart onto eBay, I always say start with Mainstays, because that's their private label brand. And anybody that's selling those items with a stock photo is almost 100% of the time drop shipping that item. So based off that knowledge, why would you not go out there and go try to find other private label brands of other suppliers? So I've been doing this for almost every other supplier that I've had, and I've like vetted out during the past month and a half. And for Dick's Sporting Goods, I actually went out there, bit the bullet for you guys, and figured it out. And if you start looking around their store, you will realize that it'll start saying Dick's Exclusive on the top left, which I'm guessing means that it's a private label brand. And if you realize the brand is called Field & Stream, Field & Stream Simple Dry Boot Dryers, Field & Stream Boot, Field & Stream Flannel, Field & Stream Gun Safe, Field & Stream Tree Stand. You guys get the point. So what you can do is you can either search this, and I wouldn't search clothing, because I don't really like to sell clothing because it has high return rates anyways, but you know, I would search something that's actually like a material, you know, like a bigger good, you know, like a gun safe, a tree stand, a tent, a chair, shit like that. I think that that's better to search. So one thing just to show you guys, if you just search Field & Stream, first off, this proves right here that eBay is really trying to push people that are actually selling their own goods. Like, look at these pictures. When you type in Field & Stream, first off the bat, and you go to all listings, it's just people selling their used Field & Stream clothing. And that's what shows up first. There's no items that are being drop shipped that shows up first, you know? So it really goes to show that eBay is pushing people to, you know, really sell their own goods and, you know, go back to the old eBay mentality and try to eliminate the drop, not eliminate, but, you know, mitigate the drop shipping. So what I would do is, if you don't want to search like one solid term like this, so let's just see if somebody's selling this. And, you know, one thing you are going to realize is that a lot of these aren't going to be sold. They're not going to be on eBay. This one's not Field & Stream. Mainly because of the fact that these are obscure suppliers, so you're going to have to pave the way on your own, or, you know, do a little bit more research. So we searched one item, it's not there. Usually with a Mainstays item, you can just search it and find it. But what I ended up doing is I just typed in Field & Stream tent, because I know they sell tents too, and as you can tell, here's a used tent. Here's these are like little small store display tents. Here's some other used stuff, and then here we are. Somebody's drop shipping this. This is being drop shipped. This is being drop shipped. This, and all of this is being drop shipped. I can guarantee you. So I clicked on this one, I think, and it's just like anything else from there. Clearly being drop shipped. I mean, this looks like a SKU grid-esque type of description here, description and layout template. And I mean, I'm sorry if this is your store and I'm blowing up your spot, like I said, but it is what it is. So I searched the name. I brought it into Zik Analytics. I searched their name. They have like 800 active listings. I'm not saying that this person's great. But there is items that you can definitely rip off their store from here, or just, get into more research. I don't want to make this video too long, so we're already at 10 minutes, but I do want to prove out there that you guys can find items that are selling, that are high profit margins, that are from some of these weird, obscure suppliers. So you're going to look through all of his stuff, and I didn't look through any of these, but I'm guessing these might be from Dick's Sporting Goods. I'm guessing this one might be from Bass Pro Shops. I mean, call me a psychic here, but this one might be from Bass Pro Shops. And if you look at SKU Grid, Bass Pro Shops is right there. I haven't used them yet, but here is Field and Stream Lookout Deluxe 15-foot ladder stand. So we can click on this. And as you can tell, he sold one. So I like to highlight it, search it in Google, fieldandstreamshop.com. I think they have their own website, which I didn't actually look at. But here it is on Dick's Sporting Goods. I mean, it says Dick's exclusive, so they might just have their own website. That's also just a spin-off of Dicks.com is what it looks like. So, I mean, here we are on Dicks.com, same price, $99. Free shipping on orders over $49. And this brings us to, I'm going to add to the cart first. But, we found the private label brand. We found somebody selling it on Zik Analytics. And this brings us to the competition. First off, is there low competition? Is there a lot of competition? Competition on this item is that there's 2 people. This C stands for competition. It's based off title. So it shows that there's only 2 people that are selling this item. If we click it, there's another person right here, 137, 135. We can view this on eBay. Somebody else is selling it. That is a long ass blings things, this and that, and vintage 5, 6. Holy shit, that is a mouthful. And, they're selling it. They haven't sold one yet. I'm not saying these are going to be high-selling items, but I am saying that you will get a lot of profit. You will probably find better items than this right off the bat, or if you put in, maybe 20 minutes more of researching. This is literally what I did in 5 minutes before this video started. But he did sell one at $137. So now, we checked competition. Competition seems low, which is good because, you can kind of dictate your own pricing at that point, and usually it means the margins will be higher. And then Fifthly, or lastly, you're going to want to check if there's other ways to get higher margins with these. Is there tax exempt? I never contacted Dick's, and I don't know if you can get tax exempt. But, most of the websites, they won't advertise it on their website. But if you call them, or if you go to their little support chat, if you're afraid to call them, then a lot of them will tell you, hey, just email your paperwork here. Email your paperwork here. I've done it with a lot of different weird suppliers, and some of them were definitely smaller than Dick's, so I can 100% guess that Dick's might have tax exempt. So I'm going to do my math based off that they do have tax exemption. Secondly, do they have cash back? And thirdly, do they have gift cards? I'm not a big gift card guy. You guys that have been following me for a while may know that already, but if you go to raise.com, I mean, if you guys are big gift card guys, I'm not, like I said. I always say guys too. I think there's like 5% of girls that watch this channel. So if you all are big gift card people, then, check right here. You can actually get some pretty highly discounted Dick's gift cards for huge amounts. So, I mean, it might be worthwhile to become a big gift card guy at this point in time. I haven't listed Dick's yet, but a $500 gift card for 7.2% off, that's a lot better than 2% for my, regular old credit card. And it really helps out when you actually are, getting large quantities here. Like there's multiple thousands of dollars right here that you can get for 7% off. So, I would look into it. Who knows? And then, also, so I'll just open up another tab here. Cashback monitor. It's what I always look at to find, what the cash back of the stores are. So you type in Dick's Sporting Goods. Here it is. Lemony. I don't really use them. Be Frugal, Mr. Rebates, Top Cashback, and Ebates Giving Assistant. So honestly, my favorite recently has been Giving Assistant. They are so fucking consistent with giving your money back. I really like Ebates as well. Top Cashback seems to be lower. Let's open them all up. On Giving Assistant, click this little I right here, 5% cash back, and then you can read what it actually is. Dick's Sporting Goods uses first click technology to attribute cash back. Please start your shopping experience with Giving Assistant with a cleared. All right, so it doesn't have any really restrictions. Basically, your cash back. Yeah, so this will tell you if there's any restrictions there. This one doesn't have any. This is 5% on everything as well. No specific category researches. And then this is top cash back, and they're 3% on everything. So in my opinion, I'd go with Giving Assistant on this. So without cash back or without discounting gift cards, let's just talk front-end margin because this video is titled 10% front-end margin. So we're going to go here. It's $99. I'm going to assume we're tax exempt. We can do the math afterwards if we're not tax exempt. So that's $137. Let's get into the real nitty-gritty math of this. 137 times, I'm going to make it easy, 0.88. That's taking out your eBay and your PayPal fees. Equals 120, and then it's a 30 cent for every PayPal transaction fee. So we're at 120.26, and let's just say we're tax exempt. Minus 99 equals $21.26 front end profit divided by 137 again. That is 15.5. Oh, you can multiply it by 100 to make it look better. That's 15.5% front end margin. Let's say we're not tax exempt. Let's go off of a 7% average tax of America. So remember, it's 120.26 after eBay and PayPal fees, but we're going to do 99.99 times 1.07. That's going to add 7% tax onto the buying price of $99.99. So we're going to go into the calculator, equals 106.98. So if we do 120.26 minus 106.98, that's the front end profit, and then you divide it by 137. We're still at, and we can multiply it by 100. We're still at 9.7% front end margin. If you were to get hit with a 7% sales tax on the front end, I don't really know Dick's tax policy, but it does say right here that they do charge in a lot of the states here. But I do have actual tax IDs for almost every single one of these states. And I believe if you contact Dick's, you will be able to get tax exempt. So worst comes to worst, you're making about a 10% front end margin, even if you do get taxed. If you're not getting taxed, this person made a 15.5% front end margin. Let's also say that you're not getting tax exempt. So it's 99, 90, whatever. And so it was 120.26 minus 99.99. So that's a $20.27 front end. So let's remember that let's just say $20. We'll make it easy. And then 99.99. This is going to be, we're going to add in the cash back and the gift cards. So let's just say that we get 7.2% on these gift cards and 5 extra percent from top cash back. So that's going to be 12.2%. So we're going to multiply it by, let's just say 12% times 0.12. That's another $12 front end plus $20 equals $32 altogether, divided by 137. It actually ends up being a 23.35% margin if you're tax exempt, if you're using gift cards, and if you're using cash back. We might realize down the line that maybe you can't get tax exempt, maybe cash back's not as good as you think it is, or maybe the discounted gift cards aren't worth it. But the world's your oyster on this. At the very worst, you're getting just about 10% front end, and you'll still get over 10% with a cashback credit card, even if you're using a 2% or 1% cashback credit card. And if you're doing all the bells and whistles, you're going to get 23.3% profit altogether. So this goes to show the power of the Obscure Supplier, the power of you having very little competition, and the power of you also being able to pretty much dictate your price because of that. So I hope you guys found this video extremely helpful, extremely informational. If you guys, find any good suppliers and want to let me know in my DMs, I'd very much appreciate it. And, I appreciate anybody that made it this far in my video. It shows that you guys are the dedicated bunch that makes it this far, because, if you're going to watch half of this video and not get all the information, you're not going to be able to put everything together, and you don't care as much about your business and, your brand or whatever, that growing and just becoming more successful. So I appreciate it. Anybody that made it this far. If you made it this far, also, I'd like to ask you guys to please subscribe. I mean, you obviously like this content, so let's see more of it in the future. Please subscribe, and also in the description I'm going to have a little link, and this link will give you a Facebook message notification every time I upload a new video, which is going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I hope you guys like this. I hope you guys are excited for the new videos that I'm coming out with on manual dropshipping. I really do think that they're, a lot different than what's out there in the mainstream right now, and I hope you guys are appreciating that. So I appreciate you guys for staying this long in the video, and thank you very much. I will see you in the next one.